All right, what'd you get for Christmas?
This gun.
This gun?
It's a 22 bolt action, and it's got an eagle on it.
It's actually not bad. This is a Savage B22 FV-SR, and it has this...
and the loading thing is really easy to work.
The loading thing, say bolt action.
And the bolt action.
He's actually referring to the action there. This here has the special American flag camouflage. I don't know if you guys can see that there, but oh, that's wicked, dude. That looks so good. The Second Amendment, it's got the Second Amendment written on it too, so it's pretty sweet.
Yeah, I didn't notice it had the Second Amendment written on it.
The Second Amendment. So I got Miles the rifle for Christmas. He did not have his own rifle, and I wanted him to have a nice one, one that he can maybe pass down to his kids, future generations, that type of thing. So
Athena has a rifle too, which is somewhat similar to this, but
Athena has one too, and the most important thing about it, of course, is that it's pink.
Yeah, it has to be pink, or Shantae.
That's right. And so far, we've shot it 3 times?
Like, yeah, 3 or 4.
3 or 4 times. A little spoiler alert, this kid's pretty wicked with it. Nice.
Oh, wait, that one's on the 4, right?
Nice, 6 for 6, dude. You haven't missed one yet. The initial sight-in range was 100 yards, and then a 185-yard range with steel targets at the end.
I can hit the tin cans, and they're like 180 yards away.
He can definitely hit the steel targets at 185, 190 actually. And not only that, he hits them without missing. I think you had at least 11 in a row, 14 in a row, something like that. All right. Well, I didn't get to see, but yeah, that's 10 for 10.
A well-placed grenade, maybe?
Shot after shot. This kid's pretty good with it. We got his scope sighted in. It's a Nikon Pro Staff rimfire. Nikon doesn't make rifle scopes anymore, unfortunately. I don't know why. If I had to guess, it was probably some clown world reason about not wanting to make evil, dangerous rifle scopes. What?
You were talking about clown wool. I said vote Colt.
So far, tell me what you think about it.
Oh, I'd give it like a 9 out of 10 to 10 out of 10.
9 out of 10. So, what do you like about it?
I like that, well, it's got pretty good range, even though that might not have been the intended purpose.
So for the 22 round, you know, it starts to lose. It doesn't come out very fast in the first place, you know, about 1,100 or 1,200 something feet per second. And once it leaves the barrel, it starts slowing down pretty quickly. And so it doesn't go that far. I'll say you can't expect accurate shots, you know, maybe get out to 250 yards or something. And I know, you know, some internet gun guy is gonna be like, oh, I regularly shoot a kilometer with my 22. And it's like, no, you don't. The groupings are nice. We're zeroed in at 50 yards. Very confident in that grouping at 50 yards. I'll show you, put some targets up here in a little bit that Miles has shot at 50 yards and 100 yards. So let's talk more about some of the things you like. Do you feel that it's an accurate weapon, that if you're shooting at a distance, a reasonable distance for the 22, that you're gonna hit what you're shooting at?
Yeah, generally. Well, the 0, you have to make sure you have it exactly on point, otherwise it's gonna go way off course. But other than that, yeah.
So I'll give some pros here. Fit and finish on this thing, it's just fantastic. Nice thick bull barrel here. It's got a threading on here for a suppressor. Not going to be putting a suppressor on here anytime soon, but have the capability should we ever need it.
I'm not a SWAT member. We don't need a suppressor yet. I should join the SWAT team.
What SWAT team?
Some form of SWAT team.
Just any SWAT team. The stock here actually has a really good feel to it. It's not just for looks. Feels good in the hand. Miles actually naturally, I love to take credit for all of this, but Miles just does some things naturally that you don't have to teach him. The way he rests his hand on here, he's not gripping the heck out of it, you know? He's just kind of laying it there. And then when it's time to work the trigger, he just brings it back gently and brings it back smoothly. And it's kind of something that he just didn't have to beat it into his head or anything. Sometimes he still jerks the trigger, you know, sends it back and forth a little too quickly. He's still hitting what he's aiming at, so it's hard to make him see the error of his ways there when he keeps hitting what he's aiming at. The bolt's pretty easy. Miles can manipulate the bolt. Two things that are a little on the lacking side, and both of them have to relate to the stock itself. So we have this thing on here because the comb height is ridiculously low, even for a grown-up. So, you know, if I cheek up on this thing now, I'm good to go. Down here, I'm not, and these are low rings. I mean, we got these things as low as we can get them here. And this comb height is just not high enough. So we've got this here, it's called Turbon.
Yeah, shout out to Turbon, by the way.
We've got this cheek pad for him and me, so when we're shooting it, we can get a good cheek weld on here and get the eye in a good position for the scope. The other thing I would say, and it's similar, is the length of pull here. The eye relief on this particular scope, and you know, scopes all have a slightly different eye relief, but they're not so different that it makes a giant, you know, that it's a night and day difference between the two. But if you can see, it's mounted all the way back at the edge of this stock Picatinny rail that comes here. And it just barely has enough space for the objective lens to grow out and clear here. If it were any thicker, we would have to get medium-sized rings. And I just would have liked to see Savage maybe extend this Picatinny rail back a little bit farther. So other than that, either adjustable comb height, adjustable length of pull, or extending this Picatinny rail a little farther back. Of course, the heater wants to come on now. Miles took shooting this thing pretty well. I'd taken him a couple of times before on a couple other 22s. My Ruger takedown and little Chipmunk 22. He'd always enjoyed it and did a pretty decent job of hitting what he was aiming at. But it's taken on new life with this guy. I can see the enthusiasm.
I should join the SWAT team.
And I'm telling you, like, watching him do it, it's a proud dad moment. Just watching him relax before the shot, operate the bolt, take the shot, operate the bolt, not jerking his head around, not making the shot jumping up and none of that stuff. See, but now he's jerking his head around.
Right, in order to give an example of what you shouldn't do.
Absolutely. But what should you do? You should take your son out shooting. They want to take it away from you. Did you know that? Shooting is not something that they want you to be able to do. Even though American men have been teaching their sons to shoot for generations, and they've been exercising their Second Amendment rights for generations, you know, decades, centuries, since the founding of this country.
They keep saying that only a well-regulated militia can have it, but it says the right of the people to bear arms shall not be infringed.
No, it shan't. And yet they try to infringe. So I would wholeheartedly recommend getting a Savage bolt action. All you dads out there, for your sons and daughters, because spoiler alert, Ladybug got herself that rifle too, and she's a crack shot with it. Miles, what do you think about this rifle? Would you recommend a Savage bolt action for kids your age?
Yeah.
If you're looking for a bolt action 22, what's the mottos where you check out everyone else first? Because once you check out the Savage, you're not going to want to go anywhere else. I would just say that it's been an absolute joy taking Miles out with this and shooting it. It's been awesome watching him learn and watching him develop actual skills with the rifle. Would you recommend this rifle for other kids?
Yeah.
I would too.
As long as they're at least 10.
I mean, look at this thing. Look how sweet this looks.
I would also recommend the Halo Energy Sword for other kids. I like it.
Awesome. You like shooting with your old man?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not really old yet. Yet.
I sure feel old sometimes. All right. Nice.
this is a good video you're making.